I don't really like doing these because it's work. And what I mean by work is that to get an accurate response and to actually have a sound argument with a rant is hard in itself. It's hard to actually place any thought right now about the rant of Jason Whitlock on Kobe Bryant. I'm an avid basketball fan, and I'm not going to sit here and say that a person's opinion is right or wrong. In fact, we all have our own opinions. But when it comes to the rant that Jason Whitlock went on about Kobe Bryant's 20-year career ending on the Herd last week, it was actually more daunting to me that somebody would come out and say something about a player just immediately. It's like, dude, you spat on somebody's grave right when we buried him. To call somebody a fraudulent superstar celebrity athlete that he's ever seen is what Jason Whitlock called Kobe Bryant. And hot garbage for his final game. A 60-point game was hot garbage? Are you kidding me? We celebrated Kobe Bryant because this was the last time we'll get to see him play. And he brings up a couple of interesting things in his article. One of it from the Herd was America used to be about, and what we used to celebrate, are people that strayed from the path and did their own thing. I want to point this out to Jason, that we don't celebrate people that stray from the path. We celebrate people who follow the same mold that we put them on. People who are celebrities or athlete celebrities are put on a certain type of pedestal because we view them as gods. I don't personally, but most people view them as a form of higher being, somebody who is greater than they are athletically. They may not be greater than they are personally as far as personality or how they think, but we put these athletes on high. And I want to point out that during the 90s, there was a very big campaign going with, Jason Whitlock talking a lot of trash about Kobe Bryant's career and how he was just an imitator of Michael Jordan. The fact is, Kobe Bryant was probably the greatest imitator of Michael Jordan because in the 90s, we had the campaign, Like Mike. If I Can Only Be Like Mike was the stupid chant of the song. We put Michael Jordan, Bo Jackson, we put these athletes on high because of what they could do. And it's foolhardy to think that in a 90s world where we create a brand, where we want kids to buy the brand, that they're not going to imitate it. I can tell you right now, there are kids out there in my neighborhood who are playing basketball. They're wearing Steph Curry's jersey right now. They have got Curry's jersey on, and not only that, they are out there shooting three-point shots. They're not trying to dunk. They're not trying to drive the lane. They're not trying to shake each other off. They're not doing what I used to do when watching Allen Iverson, watching Kobe Bryant, watching, Antoine Jameson, all those guys. They're not doing all that stuff. They're actually going out and shooting threes because that's what they see Steph Curry doing. And it's interesting. I was reading on the CBS Post of Los Angeles, and it's a Los Angeles, it's an Los Angeles article, so it's going to be a little biased. But I thought it was very interesting that they bring out, and I quote, Bryant was not trying to imitate Michael Jordan. He was aspiring to surpass Michael Jordan as the greatest basketball player of all time. That's what I've seen. And yeah, there is immaturity in Bryant's career. There's tons of it. There's tons of selfishness, and there's tons of, me first attitude. But that was the type of player he was. He felt that he could win the game on his shoulders. Kobe Bryant played the game and sacrificed his personal life just to try to surpass somebody he aspired and looked up to. And that's so interesting that you see that it's a bewildering fact to me that they make the argument that Kobe ruined the franchise. That franchise put all its chips on Kobe Bryant and came out with 2 championships after the Shaquille O'Neal era. That team won 3 with Shaq and Kobe, and it won 0 with the mailman, the glove, Gary Payton, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kobe Bryant, back then not known as Black Mamba. And it's so funny. You have a 20-year career that has taken place in one area. And the Buss family, when they had a chance, they didn't give up on Kobe Bryant. They actually kept him. They could have traded him, even when he was requesting for a trade. I mean, after everything was going downhill, they got a lot of replacement players to complement Kobe Bryant in his play style. And, it's just so funny that after a 60-point game, you can't seem to please people, especially. And it's funny that, Mr. Jason Whitlock will be the first one to go off. He's actually an ex-ESPN writer. I used to see him on Pardon the Interruption. I hated his opinion then. I hate his opinion now. But that's a personal thing. But to finally call that day that he was narcissistic and selfish and destroyed a franchise, that's pretty egregious, man. I mean, it's so funny that he comes out and says that the Lakers are the most embarrassing laughingstock team that he's ever seen in the NBA. No, it's a storied franchise. You saw it right there. Even with the Lakers floundering, Kobe Bryant was still the attraction. He was still the guy that everybody went to see because it was his final season. And to say that, he's a fraudulent superstar athlete, about a future Hall of Famer, that's pretty crazy, man. And then to get mad at Jack Nicholson and everybody, including the fans, to give him a standing ovation at the end of the game after a 60-point performance. Are you kidding me, Jason? Are you blind? Are you mad? Do you just hate him out of pure spite? You don't have to, I'm not a Laker fan. I don't like the Lakers. I never liked Kobe, but I can respect greatness. I think that's what you need to do, bro. You need to actually respect greatness. But I'm pretty sure everybody's bust your chops after this because it's been at least a few days prior to this recording. It is a shame that he did put down what is basically the last generation of the 90s athletes that was probably the most old school you're ever going to see. And I'll go off and say this, there was a quote that was read on ESPN that Jordan was the original, Kobe was the remix. And that to me signifies so much about Kobe Bryant as a player, not a person, a player. That was as close to Jordan as you were ever going to get. I wasn't old enough to appreciate Michael Jordan's career towards the end. And to me, when I look back on Michael Jordan's career, I'm not going to remember his final game. Just like with Kobe Bryant's game, I probably won't remember this. I mean, I have it recorded, but I'm not going to remember it. But I will remember Kobe at least finishing a little bit stronger than Jordan. Because when we got to Jordan, the last thing I can remember about his retirement with the Washington Wizards was Mariah Carey in that Michael Jordan dress. My God, was that wonderful. But I don't remember Jordan's career. I just remember Jordan's final season with the Washington Wizards being something of just jump shots and bad knees and a bad pick in Kwame Brown. I mean, that's the legacy of the Washington Wizards' Michael Jordan. Everybody refers back to Michael Jordan's second retirement, coming back with the 4-5, and that to me is, a little bit more significant as far as the changes with Michael Jordan and his career. With him coming back, that kind of signified him coming back, in other words. But I'm going on a tangent. The point is that Michael Jordan retired 3 times. Kobe Bryant's going to retire just once. So to us, Jason, it was way more special that he finished off with 60. And I didn't expect him to drop 60. I expected him to get 6 points and go quietly whimpering into the night. He went out like a champion. He went out like somebody who had everything to play for, which was just the final game, his final career game. And he gave it to him. And not only did he get 60, he went out and won the game. So Jason, before you actually, I'm going to call you Mr. Whitlock. Mr. Whitlock, before you actually go off and slam a career of one of the greatest basketball players that's ever played, yes, Magic Johnson is a great Laker. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was a great Laker. Shaquille O'Neal was a great Laker. Kobe Bryant deserves to be mentioned in those names, and the fact that Magic Johnson showed him that much respect talks a lot in volumes, both about you and him. But that's all I have to say on the subject matter. No one's going to listen to this. I mean, no one's going to listen to me. They don't care about my opinion, but it's personal to me to voice it. Just like you voiced your opinion to national TV. Unfortunately, you voiced it one day too early. Mamba out.